There we go. Now we're unmuted. You've been talking all this time and we's muted.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, Michael Murillo, SoGo, Country Boy Catfishing. Country Boy, I enjoyed your live last night. Great seeing you and TJ talking, and then Epic coming in there at the end, sharing some of his endless wisdom. Catfishing Dreams, how's it going? So we'll get things rolling here. We've got a 1 Ton Fishing Club on with us tonight. I believe it's Josh and Art.
Josh and Art, yes.
So that's the guest for tonight. And without further ado, we'll get them brought up. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
1 Tonners for life.
There we go.
For life.
Buffets for life.
That is, I don't know why that's so catchy, but every time I click on one of their videos, I find myself saying it to myself. It really sticks with you. It's a great little catchphrase. So
Pretty good.
Guys, we'll start off this evening. Just tell us a little bit about yourselves, maybe what you do, how y'all got y'all's channel started.
You want to go first?
Let's see. Where did the epicness start?
That channel. That's Epic Catfish.
Oh, yeah. So all 4 of us go to church together.
Cool.
At a church not far from here. And me and Josh, I think we met first. I was new to the church, and I think the church was doing barbecue chicken that day. And somehow, I don't know. I can't really cook, but I like to cook, and I like to barbecue and stuff. Not saying that I'm good at it. Somehow, I got volunteered for it. And I was outside helping with the chicken, and Josh walked up, and it doesn't remind me of the movie Step Brothers, because Step Brothers is different than being at church. But Josh and I were very similar in our occupations at the time. He was a training specialist. I was a training specialist. We both loved to fish, and it was kind of like, do you want to go do karate in the garage kind of thing? And we're like, yep.
Yes.
So after that, we started fishing together for catfish. I've never chased catfish. I've always liked bass fishing and just whatever else you can catch with a worm. And we were fishing, trying to catch catfish, and Josh was like, well, we use bluegill. I'm like, what's a bluegill, or brim? They were calling it brim. See, I'm from up north, so they always call them sunnies, like sunfish. So when he said that, and he's like, yeah, sunfish. I was like, okay. So we started fishing with whole brim for bait, and I think it was my dad actually that night. My dad caught like a 20-something pound channel on a whole brim, and we were hooked from there. We started fishing, and then Jared started saying, hey man, I saw you guys go fishing, posting stuff on Facebook. I love to fish. Can I come? And we're like, yeah, absolutely. So then the 3 of us are fishing, and then Kyle started coming to our church, and I was doing a little bit of Facebook stalking, and I noticed some of his pictures. He had like the big double hooks on the back of his truck, and he had a catfish hat on. So I messaged him like, hey dude, do you like catfishing? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, we're a bunch of big dudes that love catfishing too. You want to come with us? And we invited him, and then we all were just fishing one day. We're like, we should have a YouTube channel. Why not? Right? Because we were having fun, being goofy. I mean, goofy's probably the nicest word you could say. But so I mean, Josh created the account, started filming us one day when we were fishing, and the rest is kind of history. I did not want to talk in front of the camera or nothing. Like, I was so embarrassed to see myself in front of the screen. I was just like, oh, I would just get chills. Like, God, is that what I sound like? Is that what I look like when I talk? So I finally accepted it and warmed up to the camera a little bit. But I think our very first video, we were trying to pull down a broken tree branch with Kyle's truck.
With my harpoon on the rope.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how we started to get us to this point now. So we're probably like a year and a half into it. We've learned a lot from the catfish community. I don't know what else to say. Catfish community is great. Made a lot of friends doing this too. Having people call and ask us advice, and the first thing out of my mouth is, dude, I don't know. I just bank fish. I go where I can get a line in the water, and if I catch something, I'm really lucky because I caught, like we were fishing a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, and it was like, I know the spawn had to have been happening by then because Josh Josh was killing it that night, but I think we went live that night actually. 8 to 10 pound fish right after the other
On my bait rod.
on his bait rod, and then all right, it's 1:30 in the morning. We're gonna stop the stream, and all of a sudden, when we're cleaning up, I think Josh does it too. We'll put it on free spool and put the bait clicker on just in case, so don't pull our rods in the water. And my one rod went screaming, and I reeled down on it. And I was like, maybe it's just a dink. And he was pulling drag, and he was fighting, trying to swim me into the tree and swim me over here. I caught a 30-pound blue that night. I thought they were spawning, but apparently he might have been a little slow. Maybe he's sterile. Who knows?
Maybe he was finished.
Yeah, maybe he got tired of fighting over the nest. Who knows? But yeah, I mean that's really it. I'm sure Josh has some stuff to add too. But
No, have a good night. Yeah, I mean it's that's the story of us. It really was like we actually quoted Step Brothers that day. A lot.
I mean, we did.
Out back in the church flipping 150 pieces of chicken quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a pretty cool story in itself. You know, you guys meeting at church and all of you loving fishing outdoors and getting together and doing this. That's a pretty incredible story in all of itself right there.
And we won't hold you being from up north, Art, against you. We won't.
I'm just the Yankee that stayed. Well, Josh is another one of those Yankees too. He's from further up north than me.
Yep, I'm from New.
And I'm from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
No, not the shore. Good grief, no way.
Well, is there anything else? I know one of you, I think it might be Josh, likes to do some foraging.
Oh yeah, that's Josh.
That's it. Yep. I mean,
Started into that.
what's that? I'm sorry.
Started into that, and how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it now. Let's say, well, how long have we known each other?
3.5 years now, maybe.
You know, so I had started a little bit before that.
Yeah.
So probably 4 years now. And it literally was just, I like knives a lot. And my wife got tired of me spending money on buying knives. She's like, "You got enough knives." I said, "That's impossible. You don't say that. Get behind me." And so I was like, I don't know. I was sitting there one day watching Forged in Fire, like most current blacksmiths. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna go see what I can do. And so I went to a local trucking company and got a big brake drum from them, from one of the semis, great big things. Thing weighs like 150 pounds. And just kind of pieced it together, got a buddy of mine to weld it up for me, and I made a forge, a coal forge out of it. And my first knife, actually Art has it somewhere at home. It was a piece of rebar with a little bitty tip on it.
Oh yeah. That's up in my truck. Well, yeah. My truck's not here, but I have that in my toolbox in my truck.
Yep. And it was the first knife I had made, and I loved it. It was like the coolest thing in the world because it wasn't even anything fancy, just a piece of rebar. It was like a scalpel. And I just fell in love with it. I actually worked on one. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not going to say who that's for, but.
Oh, that's looking really good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
I started it this evening.
This evening?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, got a ways to go. It's just preliminary grinds and stuff.
We got to try our hands somewhat at it at a place in Pigeon Forge when we went to Catapalooza. Me and my dad each made, I think half of a pony shoe, and then out of the nails they use to shoe horses. And we didn't get to do the grinding or anything. They stick it in the forge. You pretty much hammer it out, and then they grind it off and polish it for you.
They do all the hard work.
Right. Yeah, but you get the experience, just a little bit of experience of it, and it was fun. and Daddy's talked about wanting to try to get him a forge and stuff. But I told him, I said, well, between how much you work and us, and then how involved in church you already are, we rarely get, we get one day a week for a few hours a week to go fishing as it is. And how you gonna do it? He piddles with taxidermy and a ton of other things, and it's like you don't have time to finish tanning that hide. How are you? So he gets I'm bad about it too, getting really interested in something, wanting to try it, but then don't have the time to delegate to it. But it definitely looks like an awesome hobby to start. I'll never be as good as what that looks at it, but it looks like
finished fillet knife I did.
Oh, that's awesome.
What's the handle made out of?
It's like an acrylic material.
Abalone?
It's made to look like abalone.
Abalone.
Baloney.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I thought it was mother of pearl, which is very similar to that too.
Right.
I worked with a guy who did guitar work, and he did a lot of inlay and fretboards and stuff with that. Mother of pearl looked just like that, like basically the inside of an oyster shell.
Yeah.
Right.
That's basically kind of what it is.
I never knew it was called baloney.
Yeah, you see the old West guns that were all dolled up. They had,
Oh,
the old revolvers had those grips on them and stuff. So
yeah.
y'all only do bank fishing, or I think's what you said. And all the videos I've watched, y'all been on the bank. Do y'all travel to many different waters? I know you went and fished with Palmetto or Mr. Kevin. Y'all travel to fish a lot, or y'all just stick next to home? And
we would like to travel more, but like you guys was talking about, we don't have as much time as we'd like to dedicate to fishing. As much as we want to, family life comes first.
That's right.
So, but yeah, we did travel to Patriot James out of North Carolina, which isn't far from us. We traveled there. We went up to Richmond and fished with two stands. Very early on in two stands coming out. Where else did we travel? Coming out with this channel.
Clarify that.
Yes,
I
please.
couldn't help but to giggle like a little kid.
Well, I mean, I'll blame you. I probably would have too if I was in your shoes.
I'm highly immature.
We did. I mean, when we're on vacation, this is the first time I've ever So last year on my vacation, Josh went fishing on his vacation this year. But last year I went pier fishing just for fun. I never had any interest in it, but I was like, it'd be a cool video. And I ended up hooking into, I don't know if it's a skate or a stingray, whatever it was. Everybody else around me, I had my medium heavy bass rod with 20-pound braid on it, and everybody's standing around me like, nah, I'm not using my net. Nope, you just cut the line. I was like, dude, I don't want to leave all these hooks in this thing. I mean, you guys can go back and watch the video. It's probably one of our maybe second most popular video. It's pier fishing at Curry Beach in North Carolina, but you don't even see a fish, and for some reason I must have just named the video good for people Googling it, because it gets tons of views, which blows my mind. The audio is terrible in it because it's just when I got a GoPro, didn't even have an external mic. I'm like, oh, this sounds hideous. Every little thing I do, a rub, to move. I'm a big guy, so wearing the chesty on the GoPro, some people are thinking what's on that guy's chest? Because my microphone looks like a squirrel tail.
Pet squirrel. His name is Peppy.
Well, when I ordered it from eBay, it didn't look that big, and when I got it, I'm like, oh man, I look like paparazzi with this thing on. But yeah, I mean, that's the most traveling we did. I mean, we really want to go to what is it? It's not so much to fish, but what's that? Catfish Conference. We want to go to that.
Yes.
If I have enough vacation time, I'd like to schedule it to where I fish with somebody. But I really enjoy Patriot James tournament, just meeting all the other YouTubers and getting to be able to shake hands and hug necks to the people that we talk to in chat or we've been on their show, just meet them face to face. I think that was the coolest part of it.
Yeah.
It really was.
Speaking of, me and my dad, mom, and my kids, we normally vacation together the past couple of years. And my mom and wife, they just say that we're going on fishing trip with a good view, because me and Daddy pretty much spend the majority of the day on the beach with surf rods and in the water. And but we tried pier fishing this year.
Yeah.
This last trip we took in April, and it was really fun. I think I prefer the surf fishing, but it's just a change of pace, and it was cool. They had some giant sharks just right there below the pier, so every time you'd hook into something, you had to race. Either the pelicans would try to take your fish, or the sharks would. And they were really good at coming at them from each side. So you're trying to steer around them and stuff. And it was quite the show. I think we got a little footage from it, but we're a little backed up on getting footage edited.
I hear that.
So if y'all do come to CatCon, though, we're definitely going to go. It's pretty close for us, 2-hour drive. So we'll definitely be there at least 2 of the days. It'd be awesome to actually meet y'all in person there. I've never been, but I hear nothing but the greatest things about it. So,
yeah, we want to go, and I'm going to definitely make that happen, even if it turns into, like you're saying, the family vacation. I mean, that's how I got to fish in Palmetto. I was talking to my wife. I was like, look, I really want to go down to South Carolina and fish with Kevin. I said, but it's pretty close to the beach. Oh, you think we can go for like 3 or 4 days? I go fishing for like half a day, maybe a little longer, because you know how half a day goes. There's 24 hours in a day, so 12 hours is technically half a day. All right,
Half a day.
Right.
Yeah, exactly right.
You
so
get to count your sleep time, and that half a day is 18 hours.
so we went down there, and then we went to see like the historical part of Charleston. We went to the beach. We know somebody down there that has, like, I wouldn't say private access. I guess it was a private access beach, because we had to have like a badge to get in there. But it turned out to be a really, really good family vacation where we got away and I got to go catch fish. I caught my first gar down there. We've always talked about how we want to go catch gar and target gar. But who says that, right? Like, we're going to go catch gar tonight. It's usually a bycatch, which that was the case with Kevin. But
Some of those alligator gar would be fun to catch.
oh, the alligator gar? I would love to try to catch them.
That would be sweet.
They're not around here, though.
I watched a few videos of people targeting gar. I know Richard Gene, the fish machine, is the one that comes out to mind. He used a piece of rope, as bait or as a lure, and no hook. You know, their teeth just get tangled in it, and it's fascinating. And they seem to really put up a fight. The only gar I think that I've ever caught, I don't really remember catching it too well. I just remember being scared out of my mind, and I was really, really young. So Daddy remembers it far better than me, I'm sure. But that's the only gar I think I've ever caught.
Yeah, he was about 8 years old. And he threw the rod down, took off running from it. It scared him so bad.
I almost did that too with Kevin, but I was live on YouTube. I didn't want to look like a sissy. So, got any gloves? I'll pick it up if you got gloves.
Some chainmail.
Well, with Kevin, though, he caught some big food.
Awesome.
They're like an alligator where they have a lot of closing force, but they can't open their mouth. You can hold it shut with 2 fingers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Epic was talking about flatheads are the opposite too. They don't have a whole lot of crushing force, but they're open to suck that bait in is like crazy. I don't remember the numbers or PSI he said, but
right.
Yeah, Epic just spit that stuff out like it's second nature to him.
Yes.
I almost wonder, and this is not like making fun of Epic, but it's going to probably sound like it now because I'm saying it. I wonder if he talks about flatheads in his sleep. I bet you he does.
Oh, he is definitely fascinated by catfish, but he's extremely knowledgeable. It's definitely a passion of his.
Yes.
Mama, can you throw out there the link in the chat? I've not seen it in a while.
Thank you.
Fishing Club link. I would say most everybody that watches our channel is already subscribers on your channel. But if not, be sure to check them out. If you are seeing somebody new here, their channel's great. They've got a really big energy. They're always fun to watch. Their live streams are very playful, and they've got an awesome channel.
Thank you.
was kind of funny hearing Art say that he was, terrified when he first started and didn't like to talk, because when I watch you guys, I'm like, man, I wish I could talk that way and come across that way and be funny the way you guys are, because I don't have that.
Man,
Yeah, thank you.
that kind of chokes me up. I'm always like, man, that was so dumb. I don't even want to put that in the video.
Oh, y'all keep it really jovial and
Yeah,
energy really high. I stay behind the camera on fishing lives because I don't personally care for being on video myself that much, but don't really care for talking on video that much either. But once I get to talking, I have trouble shutting up, so it works against each other.
Has that problem too. At least you don't shut up.
Yeah, that's it. I'm one of those people. Like anybody knows me knows I like to talk. You watch one of my lives, it's on. That's why when we do these things, I usually flip the role and let him do most of the time.
Yeah, because most of the time I'm sitting there like, all right, well,
yeah.
Is Josh breathing in between all this?
No. But I'm one of those. When I wake up in the morning, I am completely wide awake.
You know me.
And my wife is the exact opposite. She needs an hour or two and three pots or cups of coffee. And if not, yeah.
Josh, we're alike there, because I'm that person. I get up, my feet hit the floor, I'm going.
Yep.
My wife, after she gets her second pot of coffee, she might get to going just a little bit.
Yeah, back down though.
I don't first cup of coffee until like I've been up for an hour or two.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I just.
So, what's your favorite fish, catfish to target? Y'all like targeting the blues, channel cats, flatheads?
Yeah, it's a toss up because I really enjoy catching flatheads just because it's like you never know what you're gonna get, right? Like a box of chocolates. Hit that line, man. It's like, it just slowly bending down, right?
Or it could be a tap.
Yeah,
Tap,
or just
tap,
a little
tap.
tap. Yeah, and then
For like an hour.
right.
Where it's like they're walking around Sam's Club, getting a little bit of the weenies, try some of the tacos, try that, and then they commit.
See, I'm thinking of like duck, duck, goose.
Well, yeah,
They're like duck, duck.
You bite it, man. No, I'm not biting. You bite it.
Yeah,
Like a Cheech and
the
Chong
blues,
skit.
though, man. When the blues hit it, oh my goodness! Like, in case y'all are wondering, I'm not like trying to ignore anybody if I keep looking away. Since we've been on, I've had a hit on both of my rods that both have live bluegills on them.
Oh,
So
that's flathead.
35-pound flathead.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw Tom LG Bass's video on his page, but go check it out. We're in the exact spot. Well,
yeah, that was right.
We're in the same water. We're in the exact spot where he caught a 35-pound flathead.
Yeah.
It was one of those days where I was like, I'm going to take me and my wife and my mom and dad. We're going to go to the aquarium. I decided to do that, and then they're down here tearing it up, catching all these fish. And
that was a good day for everybody but me.
Paul, that make me feel bad in the chat. Kevin is. He said, "Ha ha, big energy." What is that? A fat joke in disguise, Cody? Definitely.
I saw
come off that way. I seen chuckle, and then as soon as I said it, I was like, "Well, that didn't sound good."
It's fine.
I definitely didn't mean to Kevin hurt my feelings and act like I was being rude.
No, you're not. You're not.
Kevin.
Not everybody can handle the sheer mass of us, usually. So, like an example, this always happens to me. And it happened to us the other day, actually. We went to a restaurant to eat. It's me, Josh, and Jared, and we're walking out. And nothing against old people. If there's any old people in the chat, I'm sorry. I'm going to get old one day, and I'll probably act like this too. But they're always, we walk by this table, and old people don't have a filter. They don't have a volume control. They're like, that's some big ones there, boy. I'm like,
and of course,
we can hear you. Like, dude, we can hear you. And I probably could go like this and hurt you, but because you're old and I have a soft spot for elderly people. So
my wife works at a long-term care facility, and some of the stuff she comes home and says these geezers say.
Geezers? I love
it's just, I don't know. they're honorier than I ever thought about being. And like, golly, you think of all, like, oh, old, sweet, and it's like, no, those people are nasty.
Man, I tell you, and I'm going through this now with my grandparents. My grandfather's almost 90. My grandmother's 80, going to be 87 tomorrow. And she's been having some health issues lately. And my grandfather's he's small and skinny, and like, we're in Virginia and it's hot, like 90-something degrees. And I'll come over, he has the heat on. I'm like, why is it so hot in here? He's like, well, it's cold outside. I'm like, it's 90 degrees. This is my house. And he was never, ever like that when I was growing up. He would never tell me and my brother, we get whatever we wanted whenever we asked for it. He was such, like,
This is medulla oblongata.
I'm telling you. He's made me want to grip him up a couple times, but my grandfather, and I love him, and it's okay. Come here, let me lay hands on you, Grandpa.
It's at that Kevin Hart special, and he's talking about his grandpa being in the door. Why is that there looking up at milk? Look at that cat licking at milk. My grandfather's the same way. Looks for anything to complain about. I mean, our whole life he's told us yes about anything we've ever asked him for.
Exactly. My grandfather's.
Golly, did it come with the awfulest complaining as he was handing it to you. I mean, it's like he feels like he's too nice, so he's got to offset it by just griping about everything.
There's no way I could be this nice.
I was over too.
They walk all over me.
I'll punch you in the throat now.
So what y'all go to bait when you're out fishing?
Bait, right now, and it's a lot from local guys telling us, and from watching Tim from Epic Catfish too, it's sucker. Now I don't know if it's red horse sucker, yellow sucker, white sucker, whatever it is. It's sucker. I put a post up on Facebook to try to figure out where we could catch them in this area, because I never see or hear people using for bait. There's maybe a couple guys, and this was very recent. I guess I don't know if it's like a secret bait that people don't want to know about because they catch big fish with it. But I put a post on Facebook. I'm from New Jersey, but I lived down here for about 6 or 7 years when I was younger and moved back up. So there's a guy that I went to school with, played baseball with, and he was telling me all this stuff, like where to find them and how to catch them. He, snag them and all that. And I was like, okay, cool. And like 2 days later, he sends me a message with a bunch of pictures. He's like, hey, I got a cooler, about 15 or 20 of these suckers. Do you want them? I'm like, yeah, where are you? So I went immediately after work and met him where he works at, and he had a cooler. I'm not talking like, little bait size suckers. I'm talking about 24, 26 inch. Like, it looked like carp, but they're suckers. And we took them, we used them. Yeah, they're white suckers, I believe. We used them one night. We caught one fish, but where we were fishing at, we kind of expected probably wasn't any fish in there yet because, the spawn really hadn't hit. But man, after that, we took them, we individually froze them. You could just take shrink wrap around them real good. The freezer burn doesn't hurt them because the scales are on and everything. We thaw it out, use it for bait. And that night that Josh was catching all them in the worms, that was the bait that was working over bluegill. So probably favorite. So I'm speaking for me. Sucker is probably my favorite this time of year. Shad is probably my overall any time of year, but I just haven't went and tried to throw the net anywhere. It's tough. Like spots like this, there's big rocks and stuff, which there's probably tons of shad eating the algae here, but you're going to sacrifice the net. And the most luck I've had with catching shad is like in the middle of the night. There's been times where I just get up. My wife's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to go try to catch bait for tomorrow. What? I'm like, she's like, it's 12:30. I'm like, yeah, I'll be all right. I'll be back a couple hours. And go throw the net, and we'd rack up on them, have a cooler full every time. But so our third bait, I'd probably say bluegill. And I think that time of the year is kind of past for bluegill, but it'll be back again post-spawn when they're just eating whatever they can.
Right.
Coming out of the river. Up from some of the rivers we fish are like, this is like a little creek branch into the lake. But some of the rivers we fish, we could cast across it, but that's where the big fish move in and out of. And we haven't had as much rain this spawn, so it hasn't flooded enough. A lot of them, they go up into way up in there like they normally do. But we've still had decent luck. That's my top 3.
I've never used red horse sucker, but
I have. I've used red horse sucker. We used to catch them when they would run up the river to spawn in the springtime, and you could get on the gravel bar and just catch them one after another on redworms. And we used to use them a lot as bait, but I haven't even went up and tried to catch any in years. But
I've heard
they are
they're
great bait.
Yeah. And there's another guy, I don't know if he's watching Slime Slingers TV or Slime Slingers Catfishing. He's a friend of ours, David. He had a local guy where he drives like probably 2 hours maybe.
Yeah, about that.
To come fish the lake here. And I'm like, hey man, you getting any suckers this week? You buy them $2 a piece. He said, yeah, how many you want? I'm like, I want a 10. He go, all right. He'll show up. He's got like, because he'll come on a Friday, like mid-afternoon, and fish till Sunday and go home. But he'll either sleep on his boat or get a hotel or whatever. We were getting them from him for a while. You know, those are probably like 2-3 piece kind of bait, but man, there's something about them, man. They're really good bait here. At least proven for us, the frequency and the spots that we've chose when we had that bait, it did really good.
Right. Yeah, here on our home lake, bluegill's king. All year long, if I could only use one bait, it would always be bluegill. I'll catch more fish on bluegill than anything else. Of course, our home lake, it's a 10,000 acre reservoir, and it doesn't have skipjack, but we have plenty of shad.
Uh-huh.
Finding shad, good sized shad, that are hard to come by.
and shad's easier to catch here at night as well. But I think they say the phytoplankton comes out is thicker at night, and of course that's one of the main food sources for shad.
Okay.
So I think that's probably most everywhere that sees that the shad's easier to cast net at night. I've never had great luck on shad, or I've caught plenty of fish on it, but I personally like bluegill, or green sunfish, pumpkin seeds. Call them all a bluegill.
Yeah,
Blue better. So.
Red good bait too for some reason. Shell crackers and red breast. If I had to choose for from the sunfish family, I'd want either one of those two.
Right.
Then there's a pond we go to. We catch the hybrid bluegill. Those are really good bait too. There's something about them, man. Either it was the timing at that one spot, or they're really good bait.
Y'all use mostly cut bait, or do y'all use? I know you're using some live bait tonight. Are you using mostly cut bait most of the time, or is it?
Yeah, more often than not, I think we're doing cut.
Yeah, it all depends on the spot too, and again the time of year. Like if it's post spawn, we'll throw a whole brim out there, bluegill, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's probably dead by the time the blue comes by and eats it. But blues, anywhere 5-10 pounds, all the way up, they'll eat it. Even a channel cat will eat a bluegill. That's always my luck. I try targeting flatheads, and I catch channel cats.
Well, at least you're catching big channel cats. I mean, a 20-pound channel is what you said earlier, and that's unheard of for the waterways we fish. I mean, if you catch a 10-pound channel cat, you've caught it's probably about like catching a 50 or 60-pound blue in our waterway, as far as how frequent you'll catch them. And we don't have a lot of 50, 60-pound blues in our waterway. So they're few and far between here. 20 pounds you just never hear about.
Yeah, it wasn't in the main lake here. It was in another river. Like, the river feeds this, but there's a dam in between there and the river here. And I don't think there's any kind of a blue population there. If it is, it's not much. And I think that's why the channel cats get so big, and that's
they kind of taken over as the.
They can just feed freely without being pressured by the blues.
And it's not a very deep. It's like a 15-foot river, the whole the deepest parts of it. So I caught a flathead there. It wasn't very big. I just don't know if they can thrive there, and it's not a lot of current. Again, unless there's some kind of flooding going on, because this dam, there's only like one part that generates electricity. The rest of it's just overflow, floodgates. But man, my PB came behind that dam before the one I caught with Tim on the boat. I don't know if you guys saw that. on King's Catfishing's channel, where I made a bet with him. I said, if you put me on my PB today, I will eat the head of a shad.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And
you hadn't seen that?
no,
Oh,
you guys gotta go check that out. If any of the moderators in chat throw up Tim King's link to his channel and that video, he's got 2 separate. He made like a short video of me just eating the shad head, and then one of that whole trip that him and I went on.
Yeah,
But middle of January or February,
awesome.
in the rain, he has an enclosure on his pontoon. And I was just joking with him, like, I always felt bad because I would show up late. He hates when people show up late, but he was nice enough to wait for me when I showed up 45 minutes late both times. And I'm not a morning person, so I mean, I still got there at 6 o'clock in the morning, but no, I didn't. It was more like 7 something. But he's like, I don't know, man. I just don't like when people are late. I'm like, all right, well, how about this? You put me on PB, I'll eat a shad head. He goes, for real? I'm like, yeah. And I didn't think he could do it. Why was I wrong?
He hasn't watched his videos apparently.
So what was the PB? How big was the PB?
49.
So you eat 49-pound fish. You eat a shad head. Oh me.
That was 38, and I caught that off the bank behind the dam there.
So our next fishing trip, if you catch your PB, you eat the shad.
Nope.
Well, I mean, I tried swallowing it, but it didn't go well.
Nope.
I still chewed it. Though.
You got the eyeballs.
Whatever we're using as bait the day you catch your PB, you've got to.
No.
It's an honor of One Ton Fishing Club. Nice enough to come on here, chat with us. You've got to do it. It's disrespectful if you don't.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm unsubscribing if you don't. I'm just playing. I won't.
I tell you, I don't think I could handle it. Now, I've been to Japan. I went to Japan for work, and while I was over there, I never ordered my food. I let the guys over there. It's just a big custom there that if someone's higher ranked than you, you go out to eat. They order your food. So the whole time I was there, I never ordered my own food. I let them order it. I never said a word. I ate it. Some of the stuff I didn't want to know what it was. But knowing that it's a shad, I don't think I could do it.
I didn't think so either. I just took the bite and I just rolled with it. I'm like, I got to do it. I was live on our channel, and he was recording with his GoPro and stuff at the same time.
It was great.
Oh, the head wasn't cut off. You bit
No,
it.
I took it.
Aussie on it. Yeah.
You went Aussie on it.
Yeah, I went Aussie on it. Darren!
You're getting sick now. All right, I'm gonna turn that off.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Woo! Well, you're braver than me. That was rough.
I had to do it. I was a man of my word. I try to be.
That puts a whole new meaning to sashimi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't lived it down. We have a group chat, and LG Bass still cracks the shad jokes all the time. That's okay.
At least it wasn't one of those James River shad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little
It's
small
not
one.
big, but it ain't that big.
Well,
I don't know. I know they don't eat other fish; they just eat algae. But that probably would have tasted worse. I'm glad I didn't eat a body section. I'm glad I did. I'll just say that.
Their nose are hard as all get out. It had to be just an awful crunch.
It was. Listen to the sound when you get off.
Oh yeah. I say
Yeah, I'm done thinking about it.
go ahead and put it up full screen.
I mean, I Reese's cup that joker, and it just looked like a Reese's cup commercial.
Ooh.
I don't think I could have ever done it. Whew.
Yeah. I mean, I might have got it bit off, but I probably would have dove in the water trying to get it out of my mouth. Not just.
I was cold, man. I would have ate that before I jumped in that water. That was February or January, one of the two. February.
All right.
So
All places, it was 12 foot of water that we caught that catfish.
Oh, wow. In the wintertime.
I think the water temperature is in the 40s.
Oh, wow.
That's really shallow for a wintertime fish.
Yeah. Yeah, we do a lot of wintertime catfishing. I love wintertime catfishing, but normally we're catching fish around 30 foot in the wintertime.
I think Cannon caught his PB at 46 foot. It was pretty deep. My son Cannon, and then most of the big fish we caught, none of them were shallower than 30 foot. But I don't think we fished a lot shallower than 30 foot either because we were kept having success in the deeper water. So might have to try the winter shallow fishing a little.
So back to fishing after the shad. So you got any kind of gear that you like better than others? I know, Josh, I seen in one video you had a 15-foot rod using it. My goodness, just reach it out in the middle of the river.
That's funny. That's actually where we're at right now, is the spot that I made that video. Yeah, well, that was one of my first rods when I moved down here that I bought new. Because I've always been the type, let me go to a yard sale. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to have, like, the fanciest stuff.
Cheap.
I'm cheap. But, as I'm staring at a brand new Mad Catz rod. But anyway.
Yeah, I seen it yesterday.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like, yeah, it's first time being in the water for me anyway. But yeah, I'm not partial to any brand really. We like Big Cat Fever. Art's got a new baby.
Oh, he's got the Hellcat. I'm jealous.
Yep.
Dude, I went to I'll let Josh tell the story. Come back to me about this.
All right.
So I've got we had some rods given to us a while back from Painting Services by Steve, some Bill Dance catfish specials. And dude, I mean, they're probably like $40-$50 rods, but I love them. They're just, they're good, seem like good rods. I haven't had any trouble out of them. And then one of my favorites that I have, of course, I love my Big Cat Fever rod. That thing's awesome. But I have one that I got from Art that a buddy of his had given to him. And Art, at the time, he hated bait casters. So he gave it to me. Little did he know he was giving me like a $300 rod.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It's a St. Croix Mojo.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
12-foot rod,
10
I think?
foot.
10.
Casting rod. I love it. That's my baby.
I had no idea what I had.
I call it
He's
purple
like, here you
power
go.
because it's got like a purple color to it.
Yeah. I know the exact rod you're talking about. I've looked at them when we were surf fishing down there. A lot of people use them for surf fishing in Alabama, and they had them in the bait shops there, and I was looking at them, and God, they're beautiful. You pick them up, and the action to them feels great, but the price tag just – we bought 5 Mad Catz at Catapalooza. He bought 3, I bought 2, and or he bought 2 and one. And they were on sale at Catapalooza, $75 each, and you don't have to pay the shipping. So, $150 some odd bucks after tax, $160 for 2 rods. Cheaper than you can get them online by far. And
They're 83 online now, I think, plus $25 shipping.
I've got the 10-foot, so that's 90 something.
92 now.
92.
We really like the Mad Catz so far, but Daddy won one of the Muddy River rods from Fishing Magician 2.0. And I didn't know if I was going to like it because I've gotten really used to using the 7'6" rods, and it's a 7-foot rod. And I was like, well, I don't know how much difference that's going to make. And plus,
For the flathead.
Yes.
right. But I caught some small channel cats on it, and it's still it has a soft enough tip that you can still really feel your smaller fish on it. Of course, but it's got all the backbone to steer a big fish anywhere you want to go. But I was really impressed with the way it felt. So,
yeah, I mean, Muddy Rivers, he's Chris Flores, top-notch guy, man. We love that guy.
Yes.
Yeah. That's become one of my rods too. I guess they're all my favorite, but we have Chris gave us the medium, the catfish rod.
Yeah, medium action 7-foot.
I normally am not a medium action person.
that's what
About as low as I go, usually. My Big Cat's a heavy action. I mean, I would go extra heavy if I could. But I love catching a fish on that thing.
they put up a fight. and you said you didn't like to spend a ton on rods a lot of times and stuff, and we fished with cheap Walmart rods plenty, and a lot of the best fish we've caught on our channel come on a loose cat daddy of mine. I caught my PB on it during the Whisker Derby. $25 buys the rod, reel, and it's pre-spooled. Super cheap little rinky-dink rod and reel, and I've caught we've caught a bunch of 30-pounders on it. I caught my PB 40-pounder on it. And it takes you a little bit of dancing with them, especially knowing that you're just using 15-pound, the cheapest line they can pre-spool it with. But it's fun to catch fish like that because, you've got to really play them. And I enjoy it. I like the lighter action stuff.
I say it all the time to our buddy Aaron from Catfish Regulators. He'll tell you up and down, Mad Cats catches the fish, calls them in. And I tell them all these rods and these rod companies, they catch the fishermen more than they catch the fish.
That's what happened with us with the Mad Cats is their setup just looked amazing at Catapult. We didn't go. We knew we were going to buy rods while we were there to save on shipping. But we didn't have any particular company in mind more than the other. We had thought about the Mad Cats. Some people in one of our live streams chats had said something about them. But we went in with a completely open mind, and their setup was the nicest looking. They had any color you could think of. They felt good, but I'm a firm believer once you get into these rod companies that are specifically designed for catfish, Catch the Fever, Mad Cats, Muddy River, Slime Cat, all of those.
PWC.
The rod quality is probably pretty similar. One might feel a little different as far as the action strength, but the quality is probably pretty close to the same. And all of them are going to catch fish.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And I'm not taking anything away from the companies. I'm just saying Mad Cats makes a great product. Catch the Fever makes a great product. It's just what you like, man. Cat. It's just like everybody has their favorite football team or basketball team or baseball team. Everybody
makes a great product.
Yeah. So, I don't really watch sports anymore, but we're not going to get into that. But so, story about the Hellcat. My dad doesn't really care what he uses when he fishes. He went to Walmart, like you guys said. He bought the Tiger. He's got 2 Tiger rods that he uses when he fishes here. Now, I put slime on one of them because I was like, that cheap Walmart line is going to break and blah, blah, blah. So we were talking about these Hellcats. And my dad's a motorhead, and he always has. I never really got into cars. But he's like, I want one of them Hellcats. I'm like, Dad, there's nothing. None of them are spinning. He likes spinning. He's the one that got me into spinning, and I was so against bait casters because I'm always like, well, I'm gonna mess it up if I can. He's like, no, I want a Hellcat. I don't care if it's bait caster. I'm like, why do you want it so bad? He's like, because it's named after the car. I'm like, okay. So today, a buddy of ours from church wanted to get a friend of his a graduation gift because everybody's graduating high school and college and all that stuff. He's like, what can I get him? The Cadillac of catfish rods, and I want to get him a reel too. I said, well, I think that the one Bobcat's Bait and Tackle, like the biggest tackle shop on the lake here, everybody knows them. I said, I think they have Hellcats. Let me call. I called, and the lady says, we have one more left. I said, okay. What action? She's like, all we have is mediums. I'm like, all right, well, thank you. So I called him and told him, he's like, is medium okay? I'm like, yeah, it's fine for bank fishing we do here. We don't have a whole lot of current. He doesn't have to throw a whole lot of weight. It's fine. So he calls the order, and then he asked me, can I go pick it up? And he got him a Luz XL, the Luz Laser XL 60.
Yeah,
yes. We got those. I just bought one for myself, haven't used it yet, haven't spooled it up or nothing. So I go to pick it up, and they still had 5 more of these here. And my dad had said, I want one of them rods and get you one for your birthday coming up in July. And he sent me the money months ago when they first came out, and I was waiting for the medium heavies because they came out with the heavies and extra heavies first. Then they sold out. Then the medium heavies and the mediums came out, and the medium heavies sold out. And Bobcats, when they had 5 of these in there, I walked in there, I'm like, all right, we're getting mediums. So I grabbed up the 2 for us, picked up that other one, and I was out of there. But man, do you guys see the Hellcat at Catabaloza?
Yes.
We did.
I couldn't bring myself to give the 130 when I could get rods for. I was cheap, but it was definitely the best looking rod there.
Love it. And this is a medium action, so it's only 6 ounces of weight, but still, again, I'll never throw any more than that. I only use 3-4 ounces, maybe 5, and that's only because the mold I have makes 3, 4s, and 5s. That's the only reason I'll use a 5, because I made it.
So the Mad Cat you bought, is it a medium heavy or a heavy?
So I bought a medium and a medium heavy. I got the medium heavy Bolt, and I got a medium White Ghost, and Josh has got the 10-foot Orange Crush medium heavy.
Yeah.
Kyle got the Puzzle Rod in a medium heavy, and he got a Bolt in a medium. Yeah, I love it. I caught that 30-pound blue on that Bolt the other week.
Awesome.
The bolts are beautiful. I bought one of the medium action puzzle rods, medium action bolt. Daddy bought the pink and purple rod. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called.
Sterling.
And in a heavy.
Yeah.
And he bought the bolt in a heavy.
Yeah.
And then my mom was fortunate enough to win one of the Patriots in a medium heavy. So we got 3 actions, and I personally like medium above in most all rods. I like to be able to fight the smaller fish. You're going to catch, we go out. I'm not throwing giant baits. I'm trying to catch fish, and you can have fun reeling them in on a medium action rod, but I don't worry about it breaking if I catch, some kind of record fish if I was fortunate enough to do so.
You could catch a record fish on a medium. The world record was caught on an ugly stick, medium heavy.
Yes.
And they're really limber. They're more limber than the medium.
Rods, the way I understand it, the action of the rods is just how much weight you can throw with it before you're stressing the rod tip out.
Right.
So, and of course, the backbone kicks in further towards the tip, the different actions you have.
The heavier it is.
For how we fish and how I set my rod straight up, by the time I get to that rod, that fish biting, he's already loaded that rod up and set the hook on himself. So, I mean, I'd fish with a medium light if I wanted to get one. It wouldn't bother me. I just couldn't boat flip them, probably.
Me too nervous.
And I never more than 2 or 3 ounces of weight. We're fishing zero current 99% of the time.
Same here.
Times out of the year we get to go places to fish, but 99% of the time I'm fishing a 10,000 acre reservoir. So 2, maybe 3 ounces if I'm just trying to get a little extra casting distance. But so there's no need for the extra weight. I mean the extra action I don't really see, but Daddy buys the heavy ones, so that's what he likes. So.
Yeah, I mean you can cast it further.
Heavy.
Yeah, his definitely cast further than my mediums. His heavies do.
And it's preference. I mean, it's the action of the rod. It doesn't matter to me.
I like the heavy with the fast tip, where you still have some play in that tip, and fish don't feel it quite as quick when they take it down. But I like the heavy action that way. I'm reeling it in. I mean, most of the time we've got 6 to 8 rods out on the boat, and I get it up in those lines. I want to steer it. I want it to go where I want it to. So I like the heavy action.
Braid or mono?
Braid or mono, he said.
Mono for me.
Oh yeah, mono.
Unless I'm
I
bass
hate
fishing.
braid now.
Yeah, Josh was all about the braid when we first started.
Yeah.
Getting into buying like the custom catfish rods or whatever you want to call them.
I was using what was the reels I used to have? Remember? I had like 4 of them. Yeah, I was using the old Akuma Classics, but those are mostly, boat reels, for drifting or whatever. What am I thinking? Trolling. So they're not really made to like really cast. So I never casted more than 30, 40 yards probably with them. Because I had to. I was using 7-foot ugly sticks. I was just fishing rivers at the time. And then I got that first St. Croix, and man,
George Ray wants.
Yeah, Josh.
Uncle George
is in the house.
That's right. That'd be great if he does change his name. Did you see he wanted to do Uncle George 1-ton fishing club?
No.
Yeah.
You got an uncle over in the UK.
Yeah.
Gotta be pretty late there now because I think whenever I see him in chats in the morning, it's normally like 3 o'clock for him. So
Yeah, it's probably 10-hour difference, probably 9 hours.
That's actually only 5.
5.
I think. Yeah. Because he was on last night when I was doing my live, and he said it was like 3:30 in the morning.
Man, I was still drooling at 3:30.
Yeah. And I was there pretty late.
he doesn't get much sleep.
I'm saying.
Sleep is overrated.
We always used braid for a long time, and just recently we've kind of got away and went to mono, just because we want to try to fish for flatheads a little more. We know we're going to be getting up in the timber, some rocky areas, and so
I'm sick of paying for braid.
yeah, and the
I'm
mono
sick
is
of paying for
definitely
it.
more abrasion resistant.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
The
And
price is better.
That's
Factor for me. When you're talking about going buying Power Pro and I can, it cost me $13 to spool a reel versus you just bought a 2-pound roll of Andy monofilament, which is some of the best monofilament you can get, in my opinion, for $80 for 2 pound of it.
Wow.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah, Slimeline has. They do their pound bulk spools for like 48 or 49.
For one.
I've never tried anything else. Big Mike did give me some big game to try, and I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. So I'm sorry, Big Mike. I did want to try and compare, but only thing I've ever used mono-wise is when I first started, Josh had this like red Cajun line. I don't know who it was made by. That stuff too.
that stuff was great, man. I used that for like 15 years.
Yeah, that stuff, it breaks. It sounds like a gunshot when you break it off.
Yeah.
It don't break very friendly.
God, it cut you so bad trying to pull on that.
Yeah. So
Great on the reel though. That deep red that's really shiny, it looks great on the reel.
It does, yeah.
does.
I bought it, honestly, because it was a 3,000 yard spool.
It was cheap.
And I got it, dude. I got it for like $35 on Amazon.
Oh wow!
3,000 yards, that's 2 pound spool. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I was like, I couldn't beat it.
I thought we could deal at $80. Wow.
I don't know if y'all knew that, but
Yeah, I do know. So I don't know if SF Outdoors is in here, but he uses. Well, he might be all mono now that he's on the kayak. But I noticed, and Catfish Dave did it too. They'll have what they call, I guess it's called a shock leader, where it'd be X amount of feet is tied the union knot to the braid, and they still fish with braid. That way, you have that mono abrasion resistance out there while you're fighting it. But when you get closer, it's you
Right.
still have braid, which, in my opinion, why don't you just spool with mono? But everybody has their preference. Like I know Steve Douglas, that's all he uses is braid on his.
Yes.
he's boat too, so I think that makes a difference.
Yeah,
too.
but he does anchor up. He doesn't suspend his baits all the time, but still, he still catches big fish. It's a preference. Bank fishermen, I think it's more in your favor to use mono than braid. Now, if I bass fish though, that's all I like is braid because
For the hook set, you just feel like you get a better hook set.
you can feel the bites. It's more sensitive to when they're just barely tapping it. And I fish a lot of farm ponds where I need to boat flip these big fish over all these weeds and all this mess and try not to get too close where the snakes are hanging out. So I just want to be able to go, whoop, just bring them right over.
Hey, Mama, can you pull up a 1-ton full screen? Want to be outdoors? Ask if y'all would kindly show the Hellcat again.
Oh, yeah.
So pull them up full.
Are you able to reach the battery?
Now, this rod sight that comes with it, it's really hard to get off, so bear with me.
That wasn't that hard.
So it's almost dark here. So
I'm going to turn the light on.
this is the green one. They're coming out with an orange and I believe one more color. I'm not really certain. I've heard that there's going to be a blue one, but I don't know.
Ooh.
There you go, Matt. I can send you more pictures too. It's got this, I don't know what that is. I guess if you're fighting a shark and you have one of those belts on with the little plastic thingy. But I really like this, not I mean, I guess they're stainless. They're probably got a powder coat on them or some kind of patina, but they're like black eyelets. I really like that. And it goes down to y'all. And again, this is a medium, so I'm not going to flex the tip too much because I don't want to break it. But Hellcat, 7'6", 10 to 40 pound line, which that's as big as I go is 40 pound, 1 to 8 ounce, medium action. I know Palmetto's, Kevin's switching to pretty much all mediums. Again, it's a preference. It gets more of a rod bend. Catch the Fever, the tips have always been. I don't care what action you got. The tips are always got a lot of play. Or what does Chunky say?
Yeah, it looks good when you get that takedown.
It's got all the. You know, that was one of the. Daddy always bought the medium heavy rods, and then when we were there at the Mad Cats booth, they were talking about they thought there was a real issue in the market with heavy rods having too stiff of a tip and the fish feeling the hook up too soon.
Yeah.
So their medium heavy rod has a heavier tip than their medium rod, but their heavy rod has the exact same tip as their medium rod. So it, of course, hits the backbone a lot sooner, and the backbone's a lot tougher, but the tip on it is the same as the mediums, and that's so the fish doesn't feel the hook as soon. And I thought that was really cool. It's so
that's one thing, and also I know for guys who are throwing live bait, that tip is that soft, so your live bait will stay livelier longer, so they're fighting less of that resistance, and they're not gonna give up on it.
even with the sun going down, that thing just shines.
Isn't that crazy? It's like I thought I needed batteries for this thing. But I mean, look at how thick the wraps are around the eyes. It's insane.
That's what surprised.
Built real well.
Well, maybe if mom and daddy want to buy me something nice for my birthday, they can get me.
But look, the Mad Cat's the bolt, it shines just as bright, man. It is super bright. I wish I had mine with me.
Orange one right there.
Yeah, that orange one glows too. That orange.
I just ordered me a couple of black lights, so when we get out and fish at night, we can try the black lights out on the Mad Cat's rods. See how good.
I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you are subscribed to Aaron's Catfish Regulators.
Yes.
He had a 100-watt black light lighting them up the other night with Tom and Lorianne at Tom's dock over there.
Yes, those they looked amazing.
They do, man. They look great. And I guess the black lights don't attract bugs like the regular lights. Shout out to Uncle Lou. This is one of the lights we were talking about, Larry.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean,
to run it a little bit because it's gotten dark.
So you can change it to yellow.
Yep. That looks a little bit more
White.
natural. LED.
Both.
Full. You got a flashing like disco?
At 25%.
yeah, I like the yellow.
Yeah.
Why? Because you can't see it.
Oh, it's dance time. There we go. What was that? What the heck was that?
Morning. Dude, is it really doing it? Yeah.
Frog. Oh, dude.
So I don't know if you guys remember. It's a really old video. I guess it was a meme. It was this lady. Cody, you might remember it. A lady stomping. It's two ladies. There's a news reporter. She's stomping grapes with the other lady, and she falls. That's what Larry sounded like.
Oh yeah. Looking up news bloopers is one of my favorite things to look to.
Where this reporter chokes on a bug. He's like, "Look, I'm tired of
Give me this country."
Oh man, I'm so old.
Did you guys just become best friends?
Before every live stream we get on here, I start yelling, "F it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live." I don't know if you've seen that one.
No, I remember the one where you pulled an art, I guess should say, on your live.
Oh, yeah.
Action.
I thought I was going to have to throw those drawers away when I got home. That was grace of God, they were still good. So I kept them. No holes, no stains.
You'd be proud of me, Mom.
Oh man, I know. Last night Josh was talking. He liked Ed Bassmaster. This one here.
Oh,
Now look at that. I'm looking at sunset. I'm looking at sunset.
he's,
I
I think I walk. I help. I mow grass. He's from Philadelphia. A lot of that stuff he does is in Philly, and yeah, he's pretty funny.
He is hilarious.
Yeah.
And he loves bass fishing. It's where he gave himself Ed Bassmaster. He fishes a lot too.
He was actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he was pretty popular with it. I don't know if you see that one where I don't know, I forget, it's that weird like pontoon rowboat thing, and he just casts right in the dude's boat. Hey, do you mind? No, I don't mind. Hey, can you get that for me?
He's hilarious, that's for sure.
He is, man. I don't know how people don't punch him in the face.
I had to have happened at some point.
Oh yeah.
You would think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it does on those skits because I mean people get so mad he'll get up in their face and go.
Yeah, that's the one I can see somebody punching him.
Yeah.
Got vlog creations too, like Vlog.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
That dude is hilarious. Charles Ross.
He does some random stuff.
Man, he does some stupid stuff, but he's and his nephew, his little nephew, is adorable. But they get that kid to do so much stuff. Like he goes in to Starbucks in a full like 3-piece suit. This kid's like 3 or 4, and on his cell phone and places an order and says "Thank you, sweetheart," and just does it perfectly. It's awesome.
Yeah, I have a 7 and a 6-year-old. My 6-year-old's as goofy as day is long, and I wish that we wasn't filming from my phone. I'd hold it up and show it. But yesterday he come in there where I was sitting, and he said, "Here, film me." So he got up there, and I turned around. He's sitting beside me. He starts talking about. He said, "You know, I love rabbit poop. It's my favorite kind of poop. I've had horse poop, had dog poop. But nothing beats that bunny poop. It is my favorite, and it is good for you." I don't know where it come from. He just sat down and said, "Film me." I was like, "All right." He said, "You gonna put that on YouTube?" I said, "Nope, your mama will kill me."
That would go viral, dude.
Yesterday we were going fishing. I was making an intro, and my daughter was with me in my truck because she always wants to ride in my truck. I got a 2-seater truck, and she's always like, "I want to ride with you, Daddy. I can see the road." And I'm making an intro, and she goes, "I want to talk to them." And she starts talking about aliens. She goes, "The aliens come down, and they want our candy, but I'm not giving them any of my candy because they're not candy." I'm like, "Oh, really?" So that'll probably be in an upcoming video, so watch out for that. She was funny.
How old is she?
She's 4.
4? Well, you'll have to, if you get a chance or you're interested, we've got the Take a Kid Fishing, what's it called? Future Fishing Derby coming up. You stream it on your own channel, and there'll be prizes for pretty much every kid that's involved.
Okay.
And you can help them as much as you need. So for a problem, if she just wants to get out and run around the pole, as long as she's out there fishing, she's eligible.
All right, cool. I'll have to talk to my wife about it, but I'm sure we will probably do that.
You need to tell Kyle and Jared about it too.
Yes. We'll talk about it.
They might be watching.
Whoa.
Kyle and Jared, check it out.
Well, being as we're talking about that, let's go ahead and I want to thank Sogo. He donated a lot of stuff to be given away. Daryl has told me that he's is giving away
from Trophy Seekers.
Trophy Seekers Outdoors. Fishing Chick sent 2 fully stocked tackle boxes, bite alerts, Otney and terminal tackle, 2 Doc Demons to give away. I mean,
A Doc Demon.
and you can't beat a Doc Demon for a small kid. I mean, you can't break them. They work. You catch anything on them.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of prizes, and I want to make sure I thank those people and thank Becca, Mud Tramp. I don't know the numbers that come after that, but
0715.
okay. So, but I want to thank them real quick while it's on my mind. So, Has that rod stopped getting bites?
I'm looking at the tree because there's a blue heron up there, and I don't want him to poop on me. He
Hey,
flew.
that might be a mess.
Thanks for letting me know, so I could look out for poop.
Well, I mean, it'd
Favorite poop.
be funny to watch him poop on you. I just didn't want to get pooped on.
That might be my new favorite poop.
Yeah, right next to bunny poop.
I like bunny poop, but blue heron poop's really good too.
I got to tell y'all a funny story about that, and I hope my mother's not watching
About
right
blue
now.
heron poop?
Nope, rabbit poop.
Oh, rabbit poop. Interesting.
Okay.
I want to hear this one.
My mother is the youngest of 4 girls, and when she was a little girl up in New Hampshire, one of my aunts told her that the Easter Bunny left chocolates for her in the rabbit pen, and they had pet rabbits
You didn't go big on it, did you?
out there, and they talked her into eating them.
Oh, his mother.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's
Like
chocolate payday.
Poop.
Whew, that's right.
That would be rough right there.
Yeah.
She'll have 3 older sisters, or did she kill
She has 2 left. Yeah.
She's gonna kill you for telling that story.
Ow, that's okay.
she'd be all right.
Run faster than her in my truck. She drives a Chevy.
Ma.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy right there.
Yeah.
I got kids coming up on me over here. All right.
Come on screen, kids.
That's what they're wanting to do. They heard us talking about them. They
That bunny poop.
All right, let's talk about some poop.
say hi to everybody. You're dying to. Oh, now you're dying. You're dying to get over here. Come here, Compton. Say hi to everybody so y'all can be known and get off camera. Come on.
No, they don't want to now.
Wrestling it. See, that's how kids work. You just talk about your daughter loves to ride in the truck with you. My boys, they always argue over. I have a bench seat in my F-150, and they're always arguing over who's riding in the middle. We're coming back from the grocery store the other day, and I said, "Well, you rode in the middle on the way here. The other one can ride in the middle on the way back." We get out of the grocery store, and they're fighting over who's sitting next to the window because the other was was okay with changing spots.
Yeah, they
Wants to do it, they automatically got to fight over it. It doesn't matter.
Me and my brother were the same way. We always fought over everything.
Oh, yeah. And him and his brothers did too. Yes, definitely.
Still got 20 people.
Beats the classic line when you're playing too rough and you accidentally punch him in the face and you're like, "Quick, you hit me too, hit me back. Hey, don't quiet down. Hit me in the face. Don't tell mom."
It's always an accident. It was an accident.
Growing up, me and my brother were huge WCW fans. And that's where my One Tonners for Life comes from because I'm a big NWO fan. I was more of an NWO Wolfpack fan when Sting was in it and they were red and black. That's when I liked it. But we had a big, the trampolines were popular when we were younger without the nets on the side. And that's all we did. We pretty much acted like we were professional wrestlers on the trampoline. We would always hurt each other. So I get so much trouble over that. But it was a blast. I wouldn't change it for nothing, man. It was fun.
Yeah, you talk about wrestling. That reminds me of when my wife and I were just dating. We lived in Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is not a real big city, but they had the wrestling down to JC Pavilion.
Wrestling.
Yeah, like on, I don't know, Thursday night or something. Anyway, we'd go over there. I didn't care much for the wrestling, but I loved watching the people that got into it and really thought it was real. I mean, it was.
Yeah. When I got a little older, I realized it was fake, but I still loved it, man. I can't get into it too much nowadays. Since COVID and everything, they don't have an audience. Like the crowd makes that. It sets such an ambiance for these wrestlers, and I think they do so much better when they have a real crowd there. Now they got all the screens, and it's just all stuff played over the speakers. I mean, what they do, the falls are real. Getting here with a chair is real. Yeah, it's choreographed, but they still take all the bumps and bruises and and all that.
They still have to have surgery.
Maybe it's not like back in the day where they're cutting themselves with razors on purpose or using real barbed wire, all that crazy stuff they did way back then. Even though it may have still been fake back then.
all the stuff we did as kids in our backyard.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely athletes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I take nothing away from them. I'll turn it on every now and then, but most of my evenings consist of watching live YouTube fishing or talk shows.
Yeah, us too. You got to try to keep up with everybody and see what's going on.
It's hard to watch all the content of the people you want to support. There's so many channels that support us, and we want to support them back, and we love their content. And a lot of times, if I see Daddy in the chat of one of them, even if I'm really interested in it, I'll go click on another, just because try to spread the love and let everybody grow and stuff. But speaking of the wrestling, I watch MMA a lot. My wife hates it. Every Saturday night, that's our whole evening. And there's a few former MMA fighters that went to wrestling, and they say it's harder on their body than fighting was.
Believe it. They're performing a lot more than they would be at the UFC.
Oh yeah,
3 times a year at best. They're doing 3 times a month or more. I'm guessing. I don't know how often they wrestle.
Well, they're getting ready to go back on the road next week or two or something like that. So they'll wrestle 4 or 5 days out of the week when they at the house shows and the live events, and then they have Monday Night Raw, SmackDown on Fridays, and then I'm sure there used to be more shows during the week. I remember that,
but he doesn't follow it anymore.
I still know about it. I don't know who's champion right now.
That's because that changes daily.
Well, it depends on if Brock Lesnar signed a contract, then he'd have the belt the whole year and never be on TV. But anyway, yeah, I used to be in MMA too, man. I used to love watching when they were in the house. What was that called? UFC.
Oh, Tough, the Ultimate Fighter.
I used to love that. I'm not into it anymore.
They just started a new season of it. It's on ESPN Plus. I don't know. We can't get talking about MMA because I spend too much time watching that stuff, and I'll get to rambling and won't shut up. It and boxing is all I watch anymore. I used to watch a ton of college basketball and professional football, and I've gotten burnt out on it. I don't watch them hardly at all anymore. But I watch too much boxing and way too much MMA.
Yeah, I watch too much fishing stuff.
Yes, that's what I do. I watch fishing. When I go to break at work, I try to find somebody that's live, jump there live while I'm at break, and pretty much all I do.
Yeah, I was trying to talk my wife into getting rid of DirecTV, and I almost got stabbed that night. She's like, "No, you're not taking away my American Idol and my Chicago, whatever it is, Fire, whatever. I don't know.
All of which you can watch on Netflix.
Grey's Anatomy and all that."
My wife said, "No, Barry, don't even bring up Grey's Anatomy."
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're not talking about Grey. 6 episodes behind.
Oh my God, Josh watched.
You watch Grey's Anatomy, Josh?
Yeah.
Oh. And do you carry your fishing tackle in your purse?
I do.
Oh man. And it's purple.
And I sit down to pee.
I'm just joking, bud.
It'd be my purple purse. Pink, because purple actually is my favorite color. But
I can't watch all that blood and stuff. It makes me sick.
oh yeah,
Well, you know it's.
I used to
right?
be an EMT, so
Do you watch TV?
yeah.
It's the thought of somebody cutting somebody. I can't let them draw my blood because the thought of puncturing it bothers me. That I about faint when they go to draw my blood. So,
Dude, I'm the same way. I have a bunch of tattoos and stuff, but if I go get a needle to draw my blood, I'm like,
sometimes thinking about going in you, it just no penetration.
Giving blood and heights. Like today, I was trying to go up. It was probably like 15 feet, maybe. I go up in a scissor lift to do. I do IT work, so the guy who was helping me, he terminated this end of a cable. We're putting up an access point, and he didn't I don't know. Maybe he just couldn't see. Talk about the elderly again, but
Again,
there, and we get halfway up. I'm like, dude, take me back down. Take me. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, it's shaking, dude. Take me back down.
Let me,
Well, yeah, that too, but
it's usually like 300 pounds.
I can't do it. Heights are not my friend.
I used to be
Not
afraid
on
of heights.
something that shakes.
height don't bother me too bad, but Daddy, it's snakes, and you would think for somebody who loves the outdoors, they wouldn't be afraid of a creature that's in the woods everywhere you go and at the water everywhere you go. But he is terrified of them, and we fished out of his pontoon before he bought the new bass tracker, and it shut down on us one day out on the lake. Guy towed us back to the marina. We got tied off to the dock and got it running enough. We thought we were going to be able to get back to the boat ramp. Well, of course, it dies as soon as we pull off from the dock, but we're on the bank, close enough to the bank that I could touch bottom. So I get out, Daddy gets out, Mama gets out with a rope, going to pull it. We come up on a bunch of brush and stuff in the water. Here's a twig. It wasn't even a snake. Somebody says, "Is that a snake up there?" They flat-footed jumped into the boat. Straight.
Jesus, walking on water.
Yes. And I'm like, y'all gonna help me pull this back? You're making it heavier. I mean, come on. Nope.
I'll get the paddle. Hang on.
You can pull me to the bank and I'll walk back to the truck and leave the pontoon, but I ain't getting back in the water. I'm like, y'all sissies.
I will not get in a natural body of water any deeper than like my ankles. Like at the ocean, I don't go no deeper than that. I'll swim in a pool, but I do nope.
I get in the water. But if I'm out.
Snapping turtles, nah.
See, I
snake.
I guess I was a Yankee country boy.
It didn't bother me. I mean, I wouldn't want to go trying to catch these snapping turtles and stuff like you see people do. We just had a buddy send us a group text with some people pulling, going full turtle man in a river and pulling big snapping turtle mud banks. That's not for me. I like my fingers. I could afford to lose weight in some places, but it's not in my hands.
Yeah,
Man,
I need my.
Yeah, I'm not sticking my hands near no snapping. Right. But as far as being in the water, I love being in the water. But my wife, she's like you, ankle deep in the ocean. Like we drove 10 hours to get here. You gonna get your ankles in the water? Nope, not happening.
But then we sit there and catch sharks right there where they're swimming. So
yeah, one of the idiots out there swimming with them.
Let my kids swim with them. Yeah, parents of the year.
Yeah.
I can handle snakes.
Like, hey, see them bubbles right there?
I bet you that's a snapping turtle that could cut your wrist in half.
That's loggerheads. Let me go get them. Yeah, Josh, I don't think you ever said your favorite baits. Sorry, not. Oh, well, okay.
I mean, I like bullheads is one of my top ones just because I know that typically if something's going to bite it, it's going to be something angry.
Right.
Yeah, we've caught blues and flatheads on bullheads.
Yeah.
We have bullheads.
Yeah, you go like little ponds and stuff around here have bullheads in them.
Creeks have them too here. So I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they ever get in a pond, they just take that pond over and it'd be full of them. You know, won't be.
And then
Well, they definitely take over. So I guess
let them get back to fishing and
we'll
enjoying their evening.
I guess in closing, do you have anything else you'd like to say, or any shout outs or anything you would like to do?
And before they do, everybody please go subscribe. I believe they need 196 last I checked to hit that 1,000 mark. That's a little and nothing away. So if you're not subscribed, please go subscribe to One Ton Fishing Club, and we'll turn it over to y'all.
Yeah, shout out to Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou's hooked us up, taking care of us.
Yeah. Awesome.
Shout out to Chris Flores. I don't think I told the story earlier, but I was trying to get these guys all a gift for Christmas. I'll keep it short and sweet. I wanted to get us all hoodies. And of course, you could tell you can't walk into Walmart and buy a hoodie for us. I had messaged Chris. I said, look, if I buy the hoodies and send them to you, what would you charge me, or how much would it cost for you to put your Muddy River catfishing stuff on it? And then, I'd pay the shipping back. And he's like, well, what sizes are you looking for? So I told him just 2 bigger sizes, because my size and Jared's size, we could have got at the store or whatever. Or, no, he carries those sizes. I told him, he mailed me back. He said, okay. Well, no, he said what sizes. I sent it back. He never said anything. Months go by. He sent us the medium catfish rod to try out because he wanted some people to test it. I guess because we're bank fishermen. And he had commented on that video, hey, guys, I'm just about got your hoodies ready. So next thing you know, these hoodies show up at Josh's house because he had Josh's shipping information from the rod. And I was like, whoa. And so I messaged him, I'm like, hey, thanks for the sweatshirts. What do I owe you? Oh, it's on me. I'm like, well, thank you. That was so awesome.
Awesome.
So then I ordered the other 2 hoodies for me and Jared. And that's actually that photo I sent you to make the thumbnail. That's the day we had all got together, wore our Muddy River hoodies, and took a picture with them. And Chris is awesome, dude. I think Kyle bought, I got a Paul Smith rod, bought one from him. We just try to support him any way we can. I bought a Blue Cat rod, even though it wasn't directly from him. It's still his product. But shout out to Chris Palmetto. He helped us with a bunch of stuff too. He always helps us. Fishing with the Chad. Shout out to him.
Painting services by Steve.
Yeah, painting services by Steve. I'm sorry, I always forget him. Uncle Steve. Yeah, Miss Becca. Shout out to her. All people who, in one way, shape, or form, has supported us, been an ear to talk to, whatever. Just been support all the way around.
Who's that little tyke?
I was going to say shout out to my sponsor, which is my wife, who doesn't care that I buy fish. Well, she might not know that I buy fish and stuff. Until she's like, what's this? Why do you have so many fishing rods? Why'd you order another reel? I'm like, there's no such thing as enough.
Gotta keep.
Well, I have to agree with you. Every person you just mentioned, I personally know they every one are awesome people. This catfish community is full of nothing but awesome people, and I don't feel like it's really a community. I feel like it's family.
Yes, sir.
We all grow together, and it's just a great family. And I'm glad that we get to be a part of it.
Yep. Shout out to Ricky's Creations too.
Yep.
Yes. Awesome.
Supporter of us.
Yeah.
Well,
Chunky. Shout out to Chunky.
Chunky, yes.
Yes.
No.
The King of Bling.
Yeah, the King of Bling. Yes. Want to be outdoors, Matt.
Awesome friend to us.
Yeah.
Staying while I'm at work, he'll randomly text me stuff. Food, funny videos.
If you guys haven't subscribed to him, he's going to have some content coming out pretty soon.
We have
course. He's a veteran as well.
Yes. Love our vets.
Yes, sir.
I got a lot of respect for him. He's a good friend. He's a good person.
And even though he may not know it, a lot of those times he sends me stuff, that the funny stuff, food, whatever, it's always right on time.
Y'all check out Uncle Kool-Aid too, our friend Wayne.
So I subscribed to him yesterday through being on the live with Josh here yesterday, watching Josh, and he was in there. So gave him subscribe yesterday, and I seen he come out with a video today. I'm gonna definitely check it out.
Yeah, please do. He's a good dude. He's a good old big old country boy like us.
And shout out to you guys too for having us on your show. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank y'all for
Thank
coming
y'all
on.
for coming on. We love it.
One day we're going to be cool enough to be on Catfish Weekly. One day.
One day, maybe that's a goal for all of us.
Right?
Yeah.
That cool.
Oh, wow.
Lyle's a great guy.
I'll be on Chunky Catfishing.
Lyle's not as tall as he seems in person. I got to meet him.
Yeah.
All those
He's
folks,
hilarious.
unless I'm just really freakishly tall, a lot of those guys, man, you see them on the show and you meet them, you're like, where Where is he? Oh,
Where's Chad?
I'm just picking.
Chad, stop hiding behind D.
When you're 6 foot, not too many people the same height as you.
Right. Well, I guess you got to meet all kind of awesome people when you went to the Patriot James thing, and that's definitely something I want to try to do next year is go to that.
Oh man, it was cool.
Kristen,
We've already got some scheduled fishing trips up that we're going to go fish with some different people this year, and I just love it that so many people in this community again just reach out, invite you to come fish with them, and you can't beat them. They're like I said, it's not just a community; it's family.
Daryl,
If anybody wants to come fish with us, we know plenty of bank spots. We can't guarantee you fish, but I'm pretty sure we'll make you laugh.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. If I gotta get none.
I would
And we-
bank on that one.
Kentucky and Virginia's right here.
Yeah, it's not that far. And I'm pretty sure we can figure out some way to cook some food or something.
Oh,
Maybe get Aaron to
Yeah.
get some of them tomahawk steaks.
Oh,
We just watched him grill
Josh,
grill a whole catfish or a headless catfish.
Oh yeah, the channel cat. Yeah,
Yep.
oh, yeah, where I did my smoked catfish.
Yep.
yes.
pretended to be a homeless guy.
Yeah,
On the
I was being a survivalist.
So you'll have to get into that catch clean cook that Kevin's putting on.
Yep, we're in. I hope.
Well, we tried registering, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing y'all on that, and as well as y'all's live streams you regularly do fishing. Thank y'all for coming on. We always end our live streams with a short prayer, just thanking our Lord and Savior for everything He's done for us. We're gonna head into that.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this night, Lord. Just thank you for Josh and Art coming on with us tonight, Lord. We just ask you to bless their channel, Lord. Just be the guiding light beneath their feet, guide them throughout their life, Lord. Not only them, but each and every person in the chats, Lord. And again, God, we just can't thank you enough for all your many blessings, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Man.
Hey, and as we always say, it's God, family, and the great outdoors. Hey, thanks everyone for coming in.